Our affirmation today is I am nurturing love. When I sat down earlier this week to figure out what I was going to talk about today, I decided to look back last year and see what Pastor Mike had talked about on Mother's Day. And he actually talked about nurturing love. I don't know if many of you recall, but last year our affirmation was, I am surrounded by nurturing love. And so when I looked at that, I thought, well, this is great, because last year we got to enjoy being surrounded. This year, let's know that we also surround other people, and thereby we are nurturing love. So when we are going through our lives, when we're going through our everyday challenges, we want to always look at the situation and make sure that we're doing it from a nurturing way. Earlier today, Pastor Don was sharing with me the fact that God is within us, and we know we talk about that a lot in our fellowship. God is with us, God's within us, we are God. And he was mentioning that we all, certainly through our upbringing and our parents, we get nurtured to a certain point, and that God is within us. What we choose to do after that, when we become able to use our own free will, the things that we do with that after that are the very important things. We can choose to make a difference. We can act in a loving, nurturing way towards our fellow people, or do the converse, which I won't even mention, because if we're going to mention something negative, it's going to create negativity. So we're only going to talk about the wonderful, positive things that we do with this God-likeness within us. So our question this week, how can I display nurturing love? So as you're going through your daily activities, somebody mentioned the other day some challenges with neighbors, or even good friends we have who sometimes aren't necessarily as in tune as we are with our own faith traditions. I think we've all sort of come upon that. I know I've had challenges with that too. It's difficult to sometimes be around people when there's a lot of negativity from them. And we talk a lot about being the example and letting people come to our faith by seeing the example that we are. And unfortunately, my only answer at the time was we just have to consistently be that good example, because the other side of it is receptivity. If the person isn't open, receptive for that kind of change at that time, well then, no matter what you do, it's possibly not going to get through to them. But if you're consistently always living the principles, the day that they do, even if they crack that door open a little bit, they're going to see that. Your example is going to be the example that they see to lead them to a place, even if it's not in our church or in our particular faith, but to a place of faith and to a place of being a nurturing and loving person. And I think I had a quote here from the book of Job. And the Lord restored the fortunes of Job when he had prayed for his friends, and the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. So in being nurturing, we're also being nurtured, because we see here that God saw that Job had thrown aside his own concerns and his own needs and desires and was praying for the friends and loved ones in his life. And as a consequence, God restored not everything he'd lost, but he gave him twice as much. And I think that's a constant theme in our fellowship. We talk about in our prosperity cycles, our giving, our positive thinking, but also in that is sharing and giving positive thoughts to other people, putting the needs of other people before your own. And we see that God returned to Job twice what he had. Obviously, we all have that opportunity, whether you're interacting with your neighbors or somebody who cuts in front of you at the supermarket or on the road. We all have the option to display nurturing love, even if it's through the act of doing nothing, but avoiding doing anything negative or saying a negative comment. That is an act of nurturing love. And the good news is that we are all nurturing, giving, and loving at heart. And in doing so, we are also surrounded by nurturing love. I wanted to pull in that affirmation from last year, because in addition to being nurturing, and while we're being nurturing, we are being surrounded by even more nurturing love. So laying aside any concerns or challenges in my own life, I turn my attention to praying for a friend, loved one, or someone I don't even know. This I thought was very interesting and very much in tune with our New Thought faith, that laying aside any concerns or challenges that I have myself, if I turn my attention to praying for a friend loved one or someone else, I am exhibiting nurturing love. And also, when I pray for others, the words I speak resonate in the very depths of my being, assuring that a right solution is unfolding for me as well. So, even in the most seemingly gloomy times, we're always surrounded by the nurturing, guiding, directing, protecting, and blessing love of God. So, as you're going through the week, think about these things. How can I display nurturing love? How can I display that God within me so that I know that I am always a good example to the people that I encounter, a great example, and I'm living by example our faith?